Not many teams run cover two against the New England Patriots. In fact, most of them opt to run some kind of cover one. In fact, the Patriots have the most cover one reps against them in the entire NFL. But that's not what Anthony Weaver did when he faced off against Drake Maye and the Patriots. The Miami Dolphins used a lot of cover two, primarily a lot of non-traditional Tampas that made Drake Maye work through the trash. We're going to break those down and even give you a Tampa simulator that turns into cover three. In our first clip, we're going to get an inverted Tampa 2, meaning that we're going to have the corners be playing the deep half. So as we get this reduction here by the Patriots, we're going to get a traditional cover 3 look. So for a rookie quarterback who's going to work back, he's going to be getting play action. So when his vision cone turns away from the coverage, he's thinking right now that we have cover 3. This is why we saw Weaver use so much Tampa 2. He wanted the rookie quarterback to work. So instead, we're going to get an inverted Tampa 2. So both of our corners are going to work to the deep halves. They are going to be our cap defenders. Our middle safety is going to end up being our pole runner, meaning that he's going to be the high hole. So our safety is going to walk down. We are going to have 2 swipe players take the flat, and then we are going to be able to get 2 wall defenders from our linebackers. What that ends up doing is it builds our triangles that we are looking for in Tampa. So outside, we are building our triangles, and then inside, we have our small triangle over the middle of the field. This is typical Tampa 2. So at the snap of the ball, we're going to see this morph into Tampa. So once you can see, when Drake Maye turns to look at the running back, everything looks like cover 3. Even right now, everything looks like cover 3. So when he turns back around to start looking, you're getting slice action here. So this edge linebacker is able to just take this to the flat. We have a wall 2 defender that's reading the quarterback here. You have the pole runner that's going to be able to take this. You can see now, because of the pole, we have an overlap here. So we're getting a cross country or a Yankee concept. Our pole runner is going to be able to cut this. Linebacker's getting depth. So he's eliminated from this. Even as we get the post, we're going to end up with a cone action here by both corners. There's really nowhere for him to go. And then we also have the rush that is going to force him back and into the pocket. So Maye doesn't have anywhere to go. He's going to end up scrambling here. He gets some yards, but you can see that once he turns around, there is nowhere for him to go. One, he has edge presence in front of him. He probably needed to sit up and kind of bail on this little rollout. You can see here we have the cutoff of the dig. We have 2 defenders on that, and then we have 2 defenders on this post. So even if it wants to roll back over here like a corner, we have our corner on top of that. If it wants to go to the post, we have our other corner there. There is no leak out on the other side. So this is the first example of using a cover 3 shell, but we're running a non-traditional Tampa, in this case, an inverted 2 Tampa, to confuse the rookie quarterback. Again, Weaver gives Maye a single high look. So we have one single high safety. Everything here makes this look like it's going to be man coverage, and we're going to have a rat. Now, if there's any indication that this might turn into zone, it's the fact that this linebacker is stacked over there, but there is a linebacker walk down on top of this running back. Now, what we're going to get is a really interesting way to play this. So we are going to get our 2 deep safety. We're going to get the pop out here, and then we're going to actually have a DB as the pole runner. He's actually going to fold back inside and run the pole as our linebacker becomes the wall 2 defender, and then our other linebacker comes out. So we're going to end up, again, building our 3 triangles on the outside and then having our middle triangle here in the middle of the field with the 2 linebackers and the safety that's going to be running the pole. So again, Maye's going to snap the ball. You can see that we get the roll to the boundary. We can play press right here. We're getting press here with the nickel working back to the deep half. So you can see right here, this is a classic example of Tampa. We have our pole runner. We have our 2 cap defenders in the halves. We have our 2 trailing corners on the outside, and we built our nice little triangle here in the middle. You can see we're cutting off the mesh route. We now are able to let the tight end go to the pole runner and then have the linebacker be able to leverage his back. Same with the corner if he wants to go there. So at the snap of the ball, you're actually going to see these 2 exchange. So we get the wall 2 coming here. We get the pole runner runner coming here. Again, that's just motion and eye candy for a rookie quarterback to have to wade through. As Maye goes back into the pocket and gets settled, you can see that the rush is coming. He's got to make a decision. He's looking down here and there's really no one open. If he wants to go ahead and throw the free access over here, he's going to have to contend with a deep safety that probably has time to get it to it because it is to the field throw. We have a receiver here that is being pressed by the corner. He's being doubled. There's nowhere to go here. And then inside, we've created a muddy mess. The only way that he can get out of this is to check down to the back. The only problem is that the pressure acts as a coverage. He cannot get access to this throw right here. So he's looking at these two options here, with this one being doubled and then this one being cut off. There's nowhere for him to go. So he's going to have to try and bail on this throw. As he tries to throw it, this is probably an ill-advised throw, so a good thing it did get batted down. He ends up getting this knocked down. So again, we see single high, it snaps to cover 2. We're going to look at one more NTT that the Miami Dolphins ran against the Patriots. Similar to the roll concept we saw earlier, we're going to get the safety rolling to the boundary, and we're going to still, again, give kind of like a cover 3 look. So we're kind of outside our 2. We've got our post player here. Both corners are going to be pressing. So this either looks like it's going to be man coverage or it's going to be some sort of a 3 lock concept. At the snap of the ball, we're actually going to get the safety to rotate. We're going to get our overhang to this side, working the pole, and then we're going to get our pop out here by the nickel. Again, we're going to get press here by the corners, and we're going to go ahead and build our triangle with our linebackers underneath. At the snap of the ball, you can see this. There's a lot of movement that he is going to have to work across. Now, what they want to do on these early downs, and especially on passing downs, if it's 3rd and long when you run these, is you want the quarterback to just throw it to the running back right in front of his face, because not only are we getting kind of a mesh concept, but we also have a 3 defender triangle that has its eyes on this. So we have outside shoulder, and then we have a cap defender that can fit right on top of that. So again, what you're doing is you're trying to just muddy the read. Maye sees that there's a lot of movement. We're getting a mesh concept, or kind of like an all slant flat here on the bottom. He just goes ahead and bails, throws it to the running back, and he's collected for basically a yard. So this is a concept that showed up over and over again throughout this, was we are going to make Maye work through the trash on these passing downs when he's going to drop back and pass. And this is exactly what we see here. Again, you have your classic Tampa triangles here on the outside, and then you have your small triangle here in the middle of the field. All eyes are on the quarterback, so when he does dump it off, everybody's there quickly and eliminates the runner there very shortly after. But this is not the only way that they attacked him. There was a Tampa simulator that they ran that a lot of teams are running. I call 3 hash, and it plays everything from the table. So in our NTTs, we showed single high, but in this, we're actually going to show split field coverage. So you are going to see when Maye gets up there, you're going to see, okay, this looks a lot like split field coverage. You even get the simulation from the DB saying, look, I've got to bail. I've got to get vertical. I'm going to it. It's 3rd and long. So I'm going to bail. This is a Tampa. You even see here you see Ramsey working vertical. The safety is worked back here. He's working up top as well. So everything when he's concentrating on the ball is telling him that this is Tampa 2. The reality is that this is actually going to be cover 3, with Ramsey taking the deep 3rd, both of the safeties dropping into the hook on the sticks, and then we have both corners actually working the deep 3rd. So it plays out very similar to the inverted 2 that we saw. And in fact, Tampa plays out a lot like cover 3, except for we have hard flats. So as Maye gets the ball and he looks up, everything looks like Tampa, except for the fact that we are squeezing all these routes. We know that the routes have to go vertical. We know that they have to sit around the sticks. That's exactly where everybody hangs out, and the pressure is able to get there. Even if he was not able to get the pressure, you can see that there really is no one open. He would have to throw underneath. Guess what we have? We have a lot of zone defenders that are now underneath coverages because we only have 3 deep, and now we can rally to that. And it's most likely maybe a 5-yard gain. It's 4th down on their 30. They're definitely punting. So this was something that Weaver did all game against the Patriots. Instead of playing a lot of cover one, he said, look, we're going to actually spam you with cover two, make Drake Maye work through the trash. The Dolphins defense is heating up right at the exact perfect timing here at the end of the season. Now, with Tua being hurt earlier, they kind of dug a hole for themselves as in terms of an organization. They still have to fight to make the playoffs, but defensively, they're looking like the unit that we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year. Against the Patriots, Weaver threw a curveball, and instead of running cover one and suffocating the receivers and forcing Maye to throw into tight windows, maybe even allowing him to scramble to get extra yards, he said, look, we're going to actually play zone, and we're going to play cover two, and we're going to make him work through the trash. If he scrambles, we have eyes on him. And if he wants to drop it down to the back, let him. We're going to tackle him, get them to the other down, get him to punt the ball.